Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Elite Wrestling World. I am your host GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here for AEW GrandSlam Australia post-show review. This was from Sydney, Australia, a packed house, and what a stack card we have for this event. So let's get dive into it and talk about that. So we started off with the Continental title match between Jon Moxley and Konosuke Takeshita. The participants in this match soaked up dueling chants of "Let's go Moxley, Let's go Takeshita" for the first half of the match. Then Moxley and Takeshita goes head to head with each other. Moxley escaped and hit Takeshita with a chop, and that sets up an exchange of chops between them. They brawled on the floor where Moxley whipped Takeshita into the barricades. Takeshita whipped Moxley into the barricade as well. We saw Takeshita hitting Moxley with a boot and a flying lariat, a blue thunder bomb, and a near fall from Takeshita's side. Takeshita racked Moxley's back while they battled on the top of the turnbuckle. Takeshita walked him out of the corner with the last ride style powerbomb for a very close near fall. Moxley caught Takeshita with a cutter out of nowhere that looks very beautiful. Moxley locked in the bulldog jaw with 5 minutes remaining. Takeshita started to fade and Moxley added a body scissors as well. Moxley transitioned that into an cross armbar breaker, but Takeshita got to the ropes. Excalibur clarified on the commentary that the Continental title match has a 20-minute time limit on TV. Takeshita escaped a second Death Rider DDT and exchanged headbutts with Moxley with 1 minute remaining. Moxley was bleeding from the nose and they were both staggered by the headbutts. Takeshita hit a forearm for a very close near fall, then followed up with a knee strike to the back of the head for another near fall just as the time limit expired. So they both goes to the time limit draw. That was tremendous match. I thought both of these guys looks fantastic, and I think it's not done yet. After the match, Moxley and Takeshita started brawling each other, and probably Excalibur dropped the nugget on commentary as well that Continental title match can be of 60 minutes limit on the pay-per-view. So might be we get this match on Revolution as well. Next up, we saw Babes of Wrath defending their women's tag title against Bayne and Penelope Ford. This was a very good women's tag match. At the start, we saw Cameron got trapped into the heel corner and worked over by Bayne while Ford taunted the crowd. We saw Willow came off the middle row with a drop kick on both of her opponents. Harley Cameron tried for a German suplex on Penelope, but Bayne stopped her and Cameron hit her with a spinning DDT. We saw Cameron locked Bayne in a half grab, but Penelope Ford broke that up. All four women were brawling in the ring. Willow sent Bayne into Ford, Harley Cameron, and Willow dropped on Bayne with a back sent on for a very close 2 count. Penelope Ford went for a moonsault on Harley Cameron. Cameron got out of the way and then hit Penelope Ford with a backslide to get the pinfall win and retains the title. So, Babes of Wrath retains the title. After the match, we saw Australian independent wrestler Lena Cross ran in and dropped Cameron. Cross and MegaBad laid out the Babes of Wrath and stood tall with all their 3 belts. So, Lena Cross, later we get the graphic that she is all elite. So, good wrestler from native Australia. Next up, we saw Andrade versus Hangman Adam Page for a world title match at Revolution. Of course, Callis joined the commentary for this one. Both guys started exchanging with the forearm. Andrade tried for something with a handspring, but Page kicked him in the gut. We saw El Idolo backed Page into the corner with some chops. Hangman blocked the chop and tried for a tombstone while El Idolo blocked it. Andrade was firmly in control. After the break, Page came back and exchanged forearms with Andrade. Hangman charged into the corner with a lariat. Hangman dropped El Idolo with a pop-up powerbomb, and El Idolo almost came down head first. That looks nasty. Page came off the top with a lariat for a very close near fall. The crowd broke out in an Eddie chant. El Idolo took too long going for a moonsault and Page rolled out of the way. We saw Page went for the buckshot lariat. Andrade was too far away and caught Page with a back elbow for a very close 2 count. Page countered the DDT for the second time and eventually got Andrade with a dead eye. Don Callis left the commentary table and got the attention of Aubrey Edwards, the referee. Andrade went for a low blow, but Page blocked it and hit a low blow of his own. And then Page hit the buckshot lady for a pinfall win. So I thought Andrade was gonna win, but Hangman is a good choice as well for the pay-per-view. So next up is Timeless Toni Storm and Orange Cassidy versus Willow, Yuta and Marina Shafir hair versus hair match. So at the start we saw Cassidy and Storm attacked Yuta and Shafir in the crowd as they made their entrance. Yuta piled drove Storm on a platform where some television equipment was set up, so making this match 2-on-1 as Luther carried Storm to the back. Since the match was no DQ, it was now 2-on-1. Yuta got a near fall after a German suplex. Cassidy caught Yuta with a stun dog millionaire and tornado DDT. Shafir almost caught Cassidy with a quick pin. Yuta came back and caught Yuta with the crossface chicken wing. Soon both women broke their holds to go after each other. Yuta hit Storm with a Bosaikoni for a very close 2 count. The crowd was chanting something I couldn't make out, but we saw Storm suplexed Yuta that nailed him with the hip attack in the corner. Cassidy hit the orange punch, Storm hit the Storm Zero, and the match ended the only way it could have been, with Yuta getting the pin. And after the match, we saw Mina Shirakawa brought out a stool as the crowd chanted bald, and Moxley came out as well through the crowd. Crowd was chanting "You deserve it" on Yuta. Shirakawa got the honors of taking some of Yuta's hair first. Then Storm clipped some of Yuta head as well, and we got Yuta's head shaved. So as expected, Yuta is gonna get his hair shaved, and so it does. Next up is the ladder match. Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher for the TNT title. Briscoe hit Fletcher with the somersault cannonball to start off the brawl. Fletcher was the first to grab a ladder, but Briscoe cut him off with a drop kick. We saw Fletcher then came off of a ladder for a moonsault that looks beautiful. Fletcher lawn darted Briscoe headfirst onto the top of the ladder that looks nasty. A ladder bridge was set up on the floor between the ring apron and another ladder. Fletcher fell backwards onto it and Briscoe came off the top with a froggy bone to the ladder, which didn't break, and it looks brutal as well. These two was kicking the hell out of each other. Fletcher was bleeding. Fletcher powerbombed Briscoe off the ladder and threw to another ladder, and that was very nasty spot. Fletcher caught Briscoe with a super kick, and then we saw Briscoe took a bite out of Fletcher and shouted it tasted like trim on the Barbie. Briscoe then put Fletcher through the ladder bridge with a J driller. That looks brutal. Fletcher started to climb after he comes back to the ring, but Briscoe caught him in mid. Briscoe then set up a second ladder, but both men fought on the top of their respective ladders. Fletcher pushed over Briscoe's ladder and Briscoe took a not completely insane bump into the ropes and onto the mat, and this allowed Fletcher to pull down the belt and retain the title. I think that was a very brutal old school kind of a ladder match, and Fletcher retains the TNT title in a very good ladder match. And in the main event, we saw Brody King versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. MJF got a headlock for a bit to start the match, but King came back with a clothesline. We saw MJF took to working on Brody's leg by wrapping it against the ring post. The crowd popped, so MJF flipped them off. MJF followed King out of the floor with the top Suicida. King kicked MJF out of the ring and then hit him with the tope. Back in the ring, MJF went for a clothesline that King no-sold, and Brody King gave MJF a big back body drop for a very close 2 count. King set MJF up on a chair, then squashed him with a crossbody, and King finally hit the cannonball in the corner, but MJF kicked out at 2. King went for the Gonzo bomb, but MJF slipped out of it and locked in a sleeper. MJF tumbled to the floor. King ran the ropes for a dive, but MJF caught him and gave him a reverse hanging DDT. That looks brutal. So both men were down onto the floor. King dragged MJF back into the ring. MJF dug into his tights and found the dynamite ring, but referee caught him while he wanted to use it, and King in the meanwhile leveled MJF with the right hand. Brody hit MJF with a Gonzo bomb, but MJF kicked out at 2. That looks very close. MJF exposed King's knee and a bit of it. King fought back and tried for a Gonzo bomb on the apron as well, but MJF broke it up by going after the knee. MJF then pulled King into the tombstone and drove him into the ring apron. MJF pulled King back to the ring with a heat seeker and got the pinfall win. And MJF retained the title after a very good match with Brody King. And now it's official, MJF versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World title at Revolution. Hangman came out after the match with the contract. He signed the contract and threw it at MJF's feet. Page and MJF had a standoff. Page threatened to hit MJF, who dropped down. Page threw the pen down at MJF to sign the contract. So it's official now. So Hangman Adam Page versus MJF for the AEW World title is set for Revolution, and it's gonna be a fantastic pay-per-view. So that's the end of the show, folks. Please guys, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching Elite Wrestling World. I will see you guys in the next video.